Had to go get me a shop heater. It's 14 degrees outside. I'm in the garage. Today we're going to try to switch out the CV axle. On the right side, got the wheel off. I have to actually go get me a strip because I need one more socket for this and my shop light. So that's what I'm gonna have to go do. Right now. Now I have her turned right. I don't know if y'all can see that, but yeah, I got her turned right. I'm gonna have to get in there and let me get a shot. See that little nut? I'm gonna have to get that son bitch off, and then make that off too. I need to see if this is messed up. What do they call that? I forget what they call it, but I gotta see if this knuckle is messed up. If it is, I gotta get the knuckle. Everything I find wrong, I'm gonna fix it all the way to where I'm going. I don't want, my next vein of content to rub people the wrong way. Truth is, a couple years ago, old heads were saying people are getting into the industry, they're going to be crybabies, and that's proven true. I mean, I'm getting an influx of videos of people crying, and I don't want to get into the group of people that are just gonna berate these people, but we do have to have some no-nonsense conversations. On my Patreon, which I hope y'all have signed up for, I get a lot of people who are in that state of mind, and I've been saying that for a while, and people, oh man, ain't that many people crying to you, but now it's coming out, they're just outcries, speaking out on their videos. The no money in trucking argument that we're having right now is not a new one, A, and B, it's not a lone trucking problem. A lot of people aren't making no money in a lot of industries. So what you have to make sure that you're not doing is double jumping, meaning, oh, well, trucking ain't making me no money, so I'm gonna jump to another industry. This is not the time to really be industry hopping right now, because nobody really is giving out no money. Now, of course, there's the people who fly high above us, the controllers of the universe, who think, oh, well, that's not happening to me. And, that's what they were doing years ago when I was talking about automated trucks, and people used to give me comments like, oh, you better learn how to code. But the coders are out of work. Isn't that funny? 5 years later, the coders are out of work. The programmers are out of work. The game developers are out of work. I don't know what's going to be happening soon, but what I do want to say is I want to have a spirit of solution. I want to have a spirit of fixing problems and not just crying about it. Right now, I'm on the way to the pawn shop to look through the clearance, buy one at a time tools. You can buy like cheap stuff at a pawn shop if you're in a pawn shop. If you're into tools and stuff like me, you'll know what I'm talking about. Because I need to switch the CV axle on my minivan. And this is usually something I would take to a shop or get my homeboy to do for me. But I'm getting to the point now where I'm gonna do it on my own. What will help save us in this restricted time? And I don't know how far it's gonna go. Let's just say the economy's messed up, it's been messed up for a few years, and hopefully in the next 2 years it'll go back up. What do you do in times like this? You get innovative. You start looking into DIY, doing things on your own. And it goes back to a conversation I started months ago, or I think last year, modesty. Why does it come to the modesty conversation? Because you'll realize all the money you waste when money starts to get tight in the economy. And you'll realize when money's up, all your problems are solved with money. Everybody wants your money. Everybody wants you to buy this problem, buy that, buy this, buy that. Buy it new, buy it luxury, buy it double, buy it deluxe. When the truth is, you could be like me, and I've been cheap for a while now, and I am, for the most part, getting through this. Not saying I'm making a bunch of money at work, because I don't do the I make a lot of money at work Olympics like a lot of people do. Usually my hazmat people, but you know, whatever. I don't say they're not making it. They probably are. I don't do that because any industry can be touched. No industry is safe. None. So you gotta humble yourself. You gotta have some modesty when it comes to when you catch windfalls and a lot of money and things like that. You gotta have modesty. You gotta know how to put it aside and live on it for a while and everything like that. I don't claim to make a bunch of money from trucking, but I don't live check to check. And that is not the amount of money I make. That is the lifestyle that I lead. And we need to start preaching some of that. We need to start preaching, you know, some things you don't need. We need to reassign what a need is and what a want is. Like my computer, I have almost all the pieces for it. It took me 6 months to acquire all the pieces at the best price that I want, what I needed. And when I got down to putting it together, the fan doesn't exactly fit. So I have to switch to a water-cooled CPU. So now for the next 3-4 weeks, I'm going to look for the best CPU for the money. I'm going to take my time, see if there's part places I can go and get it at a discount. I'm going to take my time with it. It may take me 2 months to buy that CPU. And why so long, TB? Because something that really aids you in this modesty living is patience. The right now type of society we live in, that costs money. That I just want it done. That costs money. And you have to, even if you're making money right now, even if you're hazmat, gravity dump, diesel tanker, even if you, wherever you're working, you need to be trying to live as frugally as possible. Because the truth is, in this day and age, in this political landscape, in this economic world we live in now, you don't know. Here's the truth. Nobody knows, bro. You don't know what's gonna happen. Now, I started an adventure van, and you know, I took all the seats out. I built a wood frame bed for like a van life for my minivan, because you don't know. Stuff can get real weird. And I'm trying to be prepared for anything. You do not know what's going on out here, bro. Corporate people are closing that ain't supposed to close. People are taking money out of companies. Industries are fake hiring. You know, they have an electronic hiring system that's not hiring people, and there's all type of crap going on. And you can't say with certainty what situation you are going to be in the next few months. Let's go in here and see what tools I can get at a deal. I'll come back out and show y'all what I picked up and how much it cost. I don't get my tools from Harbor Freight or Home Depot. I go to pawn shops and get them used. Oh, let's see. Whole thing of wrenches, 20 bucks, and he gave me these two for just free out of the little box. This one for free. So, I said these are usually like $45 at Harbor Freight. I'm not interested in any of the hoopla. You know, I'm getting a little bit older, so I'm not as easy to sell. And when I go places, people try to sell me on things, and I just have to tell them, you know, I'm not the guy, bro. I'm not the guy. There's some people out here that are for that foolishness and chicoonery, and I'm not. I'm not the guy that is sold easily. Not saying that I never was the guy that was sold easily. I'm just saying that I'm not anymore, bro. I have the patience to wait. I have the patience to find a better deal. And that's the truth of how you get through these times. I do not know why truck drivers live in big cities. Big cities are not set up for truck drivers to live in. You continuing to stay in that big city is your own ignorance. They do not, even if you're a hazmat person making $1,900 a week, why would you be blowing all your hard work down the tube to try to live a lifestyle that isn't for you? Now, if you have a wife with a decent job, like a nursing job or something, and y'all can do that, that's different. But if you're just a single person getting $1,900 a week, you'll want to maximize your check. These are all little terms y'all need to listen to. Maximizing your check, knowing the taxes from city to town and state. All these type of things is help you keep more of your paycheck. You know, these luxury apartments that they're selling y'all, you need to stop getting them. Look for older buildings, because they'll be cheaper just because they're not the new fancy style. So in my city right now, an apartment my size can run you $1,900, but I only have to pay $900 because I'm in an older building. There's no crime, there's no jigabooing going on. It's just not the new shape. It's not the new counter. Well, I actually have a new kitchen, but it's not the new fancy shape apartment that they like. And you know that those all-in-one buildings. It's not that. It's not considered a luxury downtown unit where there's like a gym in there. And it's not none of that. I live next to old people, and let me tell you, old people are a joy to live next to. You know, yeah, you got to be quiet sometimes, but that's a small price to pay for $900 off on the price a month. You do the math on that. I'm saving $900 a month, plus not paying for parking, and I get my garage free. If I go to the fancier building, I would have no garage, and they would charge me monthly for my extra parking space because I have 2 cars. So like I said, it's stuff like that, little decisions like that keeps money in your pocket. And yeah, you don't have the fancy unit that you see on TikTok. Everybody's dancing around these fancy apartments they can't afford. But there's no reason that your rent costs your entire check. That's you doing bad life planning. That's all that is. Oh, in my city, there's no choice. You move out of the city. Oh, well, who does that? Everybody. That is why LA is becoming empty. That's why they're losing 900,000 people a year. You're supposed to do that. You get out of there. If your city is outpricing you, leave. You know, that's what I do. I leave. I also live in a state where there's barely any taxes. You know, if I was in the great state of Virginia, I would be paying 19% more of my check in taxes. I'll be paying state taxes. I'll be paying city taxes. I'll be paying property taxes. You know, to own my F-150 where I live costs me $80 a year in taxes. In Virginia, it costs $1,300 a year for this truck. And just taxes. So when it's time for me to switch my plates out, if I don't give them $1,300, they don't give me no plates. So these little things add up, and I have 2 cars, so it may be $1,300 for this one, it may be $300 for my minivan. I'm not paying that. I'm not paying that mess. Absolutely not. So the more prices change, the more I adapt. The more I adapt, because I love our career in trucking, but it is too much sacrifice, too much work, too much health problems for me to be out here struggling like I don't even have a job. So I look at what I'm making a year and I figure out the median income of a small town or a different place where my money means the most. So if I'm making $80,000 a year, and let's say I wanted to move to Denver, the median household in Denver needs to make $84,000 a year. That's the total of everybody in the house. I don't want to do that. Right now, where I live, the median income needed to live here is $23,000. So I get to live comfortably. I get to have a decent apartment, garage attached. I get to have private door, no crime. I live in one of the top 3 areas in my city. I get to do all that for a fraction of one of my checks. That took planning, bro. It didn't happen by mistake. Remember, I lived in Las Vegas. I lived here, you know what I'm saying? I live in many places. And in my state, there's a major city I could move to, and I would not be able to, I could live there, but it would take a check and some change to pay the rent. Then you have lights, paying for parking, city tax, you have all this stuff on top of it. So I'm giving up maybe 2 checks just to live, when now I'm giving up a fraction of 1 check to live. I can get 1 check from my job and be good for the month. You're looking for stuff like that. And if they cannot give you that, ain't no sense in calling back. That's how you got to look at it. Oh, well, man, there's no fun there. True. There's hardly no nightlife where I live. There's hardly no nightlife where I live. There's hardly no clubs. There's no stadium because I don't live in the major city of the state. So, there's things like that you have to deal with. But here's the thing too. When the last time you've been to a football, basketball game, or a concert? Well, I don't go to them often. So why are you understand that your rent is higher for you to be able to be near that stuff? So right now, if you haven't been to a concert or a major sports game in 3 years, you have been paying the premium of that city to be there, and you're not even using it. That's why they can charge you more money, because you live next to things people want to live next to. So I haven't been to a ballet, opera, big show. I haven't been to that in years. There's no reason for me to live in Denver and pay $2,600 a month to live next to the 4 stadiums and all the stuff they have downtown when I myself do not partake. I'm not giving you that money for other people to be able to partake. So if I don't partake in it, I have no reason to live there. Now, if I wanted to go to a game, then I would pay the gas money to drive to the game. But that's when I choose to do it. I don't want to be paying that every month. All right, I'm at Harbor Freight. I'm gonna see if I can come in here and get a pick set and a ball joint fork to hammer to get this ball joint off on my car. All right, I got the Carter pin off the castle nut. Now I gotta screw that off and take this ball joint off. This is where I leave it. I cannot get that off, that ball joint. I was using this, try to do it manually, but either I don't have the technique or it can't get it off. So I'm gonna have to go find a tool, maybe a power separator or some type of ball joint puller or something like that to get that off. If you know what can get it off, comment below. All right. I did not get that ball joint off. So like I said, I'm doing this with patience. I got my it's up. It can be in there as long as it wants. It's my garage attached to my house. So I'll right now what needs to be figured out. I'm not a mechanic, so I take all of y'all comments to the heart, and I'll research everything y'all say. what can get a ball joint off? Am I looking for like a ball joint puller? Is there some type of I have the impact wrench, electric impact wrench. Is there some attachment I can put to that? Or is it a whole set I need to get? Y'all let me know. Another day and TB being frugal and trying to do the work himself. So, yeah, that's the end of that. I'm reading the comments and working on them. And till the next time, DIY with TB, being frugal, being modest, and doing the work yourself. Don't do drugs, be happy. I'm happy to everybody to subscribe and all the people on the Patreons, all my new Patreon subscribers, I appreciate you. And the people who hit the Cash App towards the build, I appreciate you. Don't do drugs.